Y'all, today we are making broccoli and cheese soup. Okay, so we're going to start out by getting our vegetables all prepped up. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and dice me up one onion. This is sort of a smallish medium onion, but use whatever size onion you want to use. Now I'm throwing this in here in the middle of all the Christmas stuff because down here in the South it got cold. It got cold. Y'all know if it's 7 degrees, we're freezing. But it actually got down in the 30s. You know, we don't do that a whole lot around here. So I thought it would be a great time to make some soup. Now, granted, it'll be in the 70s again next week. But we're going to enjoy the cool weather and the soup while we can. So add this one to your list so when it's cold where you are, or after Christmas when you just need some comfort, make this soup. All right, so go ahead and chop up your onion, and then we're going to chop up some broccoli. Now, make sure you wash it good and get all them little bugs and dirt out of there. But you're going to need about 2 to 3 cups of broccoli. And did I have 2 or 3 cups? I have no idea how much broccoli I put in this, y'all, honestly, but the recipe calls for 2 to 3 cups. This is sort of the copycat Panera recipe. Y'all know I always kind of go rogue, but that's kind of loosely what it's based on. So I went ahead and got my broccoli chopped up. Now, I don't do frozen broccoli or broccoli florets, like prepackaged, because usually they still have stem on them. So I like to cut mine on up, but do whatever you want to do. All right, then you're going to need about a cup of these shredded carrots. Now, I got the little matchstick carrots. You can certainly get your own carrots and shred them up if you want. All right, so to our pot on the stove, we're going to add about 1/4 cup of butter. And we're going to let that get good and melted down because we're going to saute our vegetables. Now, you probably saw in the thumbnail, I had sort of some chunks of broccoli in my soup. Now, that's not exactly what I was going for when I started this because I usually like a smoother texture on these creamy soups. But I could not find my immersion blender. Now, I have since found it. I have it now, so, you know, all is well. But at the time I was doing this, I could not find that darn thing anywhere. So I kind of had to just roll with it at this point. But if you don't have an immersion blender, you could definitely like throw this broccoli in a food processor if you wanted to chop it up smaller, or just chop it up smaller with your knife. I didn't chop it real small because I was thinking I was going to blend it. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyway, saute those vegetables for about 5 minutes. Then you're going to add in 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And then we're going to add in 1 cup of heavy cream, and that's my son's legs over there. He was hanging out with me when I was making this soup. And I just had a little bit of heavy whipping cream left in the container, so I just went ahead and poured that in there. And then you're going to add in 1 cup of milk, and don't spill it everywhere like I did, but 1 cup of milk. I had to add a second little splash since I had spilled half of it on my way to the pot. So go ahead, get that mixed up good, and have your fire kind of on a medium high at this point because I had mine all the way up on blazing hot and it was just too much heat. You'll see in a minute, but it turned out fine. All right, go ahead once you get all your broth and your milks and everything added in, add in 1/4 cup of flour. Just plain old white flour. Now, we're not going to make a roux for this soup, which really kind of hurt my heart, y'all, because y'all know how I love a good roux. But that's not what this one called for, and I was trying to be good. So just to make sure when you put that flour in there that you mix it up really, really well so you don't end up with clumps of flour, okay? And don't worry about it. Oh, it's raw flour. It's going to cook out. We're cooking the soup, right? Okay, so bring it to a boil. Then we're going to add in our salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, or whatever you want to add. Put your little Tonys in there. Put you some whatever Kinders you like. Whatever flavor you like in your soup, just add it on in there. Now, you see what I meant about I had my fire up too high. My stuff was about to just boil on out of there, but I cut it down. Once you get your seasonings added, get it all good and stirred up, you're going to cut your fire down if you've got it blazing hot like mine to about a low medium. And we're just going to let this soup simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes. This soup is very, very quick to make. It's very, very easy to throw together. So if you're just looking for a good yummy, just comfort, soup, try this one because it's really, really quick and easy. All right, so once our soup has simmered for about 15, 20 minutes, however much time you got. Make sure you stir it though so it don't stick. Then we're going to add in 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese. Now, if you don't like sharp cheddar cheese, you can use whatever kind of cheddar cheese you want to use. But I really like the sharp in this recipe. It does taste really good. So all you're going to do is stir in your cheese until the cheese is melted. And that is it. That's all you have to do for this soup, and it's done. Look how thick and creamy it is, y'all. So good. But we can't just serve it in a bowl. We're going to serve it in a bread bowl, because we're going to be extra. We're going to be a little extra tonight. And you can buy your bread bowls like at Sam's, at the grocery store, the bakery, wherever you buy your bread. But if you want to make your own bread bowls homemade, I will link my sourdough bread video down below for y'all, just if you want to be even more extra and make your own sourdough bowls. But all you do, y'all, is cut the top out sort of like a pumpkin, and then you just pick some of the inside out. Leave a good bit of the inside in there so your soup doesn't just go right through the bread, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all you do. Put this soup right over in that bread bowl. So good. And look, no dishes except a spoon. Well, that is all I've got for y'all today. I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.